Good morning. So I thought we would talk a little bit about the address to use on your tax return. I see so many tax returns from other tax preparers that are using foreign addresses, and by intuition that doesn't make sense to me. So by nature, expats are transitory. You're not going to be there. What if the IRS sends you a letter 3 years from now? Probably 80% of the people that are expats that are clients of mine aren't at the same address 3 years later. So you're not going to get the notice from the IRS, which for me is the worst result from that we could have. So I don't allow my clients to use a foreign address on their tax return unless they own the property overseas, and they're for sure going to get the mail, because if you don't get this notice from the IRS, it ends up being your problem, not theirs. So this is the bottom line. Many tax preparers, I hear my new clients or my clients telling me that they were told that, okay, so we're going to use the foreign address because that's going to prove your residency. Well, excuse my French, but that's kind of bullshit to me. I mean, I can easily prove I'm not a resident of the U.S. I can show you my passport. I can show you so many stamps from other countries. I can show you stamped into the U.S. They don't stamp out, which is stupid too, but anyway, I can prove that I was in the U.S. under 45 days or 30 days or whatever I need to prove that I'm not a resident of either California, the state, or of the U.S. federally. So it's pretty easy for me to prove that I'm not a resident, and I really don't care if the IRS or the state want to have that conversation with me. Let's have that conversation, no problem. What I do care about is if I get notices mailed to me and I don't get them. That's a big problem. So I don't recommend and I don't let my clients use a foreign address on their tax return unless they own the property overseas. So I would recommend that you do not use a foreign address. If your tax preparer tells you, well, you know, it's going to affect your residency, again, that's bullshit. It's not going to affect your residency. You can easily prove that you're not a resident of the U.S. if you really aren't. And if the IRS or the state wants to have this conversation, then let's have that conversation, and no big deal. So in the future, use a U.S. address in the U.S. that you can easily get mail at. A lot of times that ends up being your parents' address or a relative's address. The other one item I would comment on is these states are becoming more and more aggressive as they run out of money, or they're just more aggressive now. So for instance, I'm from California, and about 4 years ago, California started sending me letters, where's your tax return, after 16 years of not filing, because I have a CPA license in California and I have a driver's license in California. So rather than answer their stupid letters every 3 years, every year, I now just started to file a non-resident zero return. So maybe you want to take that approach as well. So have an address in the U.S. that you can always get mail at, and possibly file just a zero non-resident return just to keep them off your back. All right, have a good weekend, and I will talk to you soon.